Fumafu, ladies and gentlemen, and all of our friends beyond the gender binary. It is sometime in the 3 o'clock hour here on KGLT, KGLZ, and KGLT.net. And that means it is time for The Coffee Show, your last source for wildlife and nature knowledge. With me and my friend Randy. Hi, Randy.
Hi, Keith. We don't often offer any, but if people come and ask us, we'll sometimes tell you about birds and other kinds of birds.
Nobody wants your bird facts, Randy.
They're good facts, though.
What do you got?
If you bread them and lightly fry them in oil, they're extremely crunchy and delicious.
Not all birds.
Your choice of dipping sauces.
Emu, not so much so.
Oh, it's just as delicious. It's just you have to prepare it a little differently.
Yeah, I mean, emu tenders.
There's more leftovers, that's all.
You have to have a very deep fry later.
Can I get an order of your 1,000-piece nuggets, please? Thanks. You can really taste the emu.
Yes.
So good.
When I eat a bird, I want it to seem like an actual dinosaur. I don't want to eat one of these cute songbird style.
Right. No ducks, no penguins for you.
No penguins.
It's strictly something with talons.
I want to eat an ostrich. I want to eat an emu, maybe a stork.
You can eat it, and then you can pick your teeth with the talon at the end of the process, just to, for full circleness.
I don't want to eat any hunting bird. Like, I don't want to eat like raptors, though. Like, I'm not interested in like owls or hawks. They're not good eating.
And then, like, when you eat at Burger King, they give you the crown at the end of that process. You get to take a rubber band and put the beak around your face and pretend you're the bird.
Oh, I thought you were going to say I get a crown of feathers that I could make for myself.
That'd be interesting, too. You can do that. No one's going to stop you. Emu had a lot of feathers.
Yeah. You know what we did learn the hard way when we were young is that if you take 2 chicken wings and flap them really hard, you will not be able to fly.
Yeah, it won't slow your descent when you leap off of the top of the playground equipment.
Nope. You can pump that swing as high as you want and you jump out, but you will not glide around majestically like Condorman from the classic Disney movie Condorman.
And from the tattoo I got of classic Disney movie Condorman at program underwriter Bozeman's Tattoo Alley.
Did you get it of him in his majestic suit or the condor truck that turns into the...
It's just the logo. I didn't want to... See, I'm planning maybe someday I'll do the full sleeve of Condorman tattoos, but I just wanted to start with the basic exciting font logo.
I really feel like this is one of the deepest deep cut references we could make that I ever could pull out. Yeah, I don't know if anyone's ever seen that movie, and it's barely existing on home video.
I viewed The Last Starfighter too many times instead.
Oh, that movie's great.
It is pretty fun.
I was just recommending that movie to a coworker.
Pretty good one. Flight of the Navigator, also pretty fun.
It is a good one. It's sad, though.
It is sad. It's a good sci-fi for kids. Sci-fi in a Twilight Zone kind of way where there's a weird catch to it. That's that kind of story.
And also featuring the voice of the late Paul Rubens.
That's right.
That would be a good viewing right now. Flight of the Navigator.
Yeah, just keep the tissues nearby just in case.
Yeah. So this week, The Coffee Show recommends Disney's Flight of the Navigator. All you Disney adults, go watch a real Disney movie for a change.
And watch it soon, because today is Wednesday the 11th, and we're leading into Friday the 13th. So save your scary movie watching for Friday.
And then no other days. It's not like the rest of October has anything going for it.
Sunday the 15th is scary because you have to go back to work the next day.
Terrifying. We are into the spooky movie season, Randy. And of course, as the month goes on, I'm sure we will have tips about Halloween safety and proper costumes and things like that. But
Not yet, though. You've got to plan your costume before you plan how to be safe in it.
Mm-hmm. As we get into the spooky season, what do you recommend for viewing to help people get into that candy and cobwebs mood?
I mean, there's no better movie about candy and kids being killed off one by one than Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory.
Fair.
That's always a go-to horror classic.
It is scary, legitimately frightening. That tunnel sequence alone.
So many things. It's a let's teach kids not to do terrible things kind of moral lessons attached to it. Feel like we're all Mike TV at this point.
Not me, I'm Violet Beauregard. I stamp my foot at the manager and I want everything and I want it now.
That's not Violet.
That's not Violet. That's Veruca Salt.
That's Veruca Salt.
I'm Veruca Salt. I want everything and I want it now.
You're a bad egg, Keith.
I am a bad egg, but I'm an okay radio DJ, and we have an hour of music and fun here this week to share with you, listeners at home, at work, or trapped up in the mountains being pursued by a bunch of crazy off-the-grid Unabomber-style weirdos.
Hey, if that's the case, at least you are in a point in your life where you don't have to be at work on Wednesdays, so you have that going for you.
Got that going for you. And if you survive, I highly recommend you stop in at our fantastic program underwriter, Neptune's Brewery.
It's a good place to take all your friends after the misunderstanding. You just didn't know you weren't supposed to be on their land. That's all.
You know, if you're being chased by a chainsaw-wielding maniac, might be like, hey, do you want to go get a beer at Neptune's Brewery? And they're like, well, no one's ever invited me before because I keep chasing people with, a sports mask on and a chainsaw.
All you have to do is just run around until the chainsaw runs out of gas, and then you're fine. The advantage is back in your court. You never see the villain have to refuel. It's on the to-do list.
We should do real Halloween safety tips of like how to get away from monsters and maniacs.
Yeah. Have you tried not falling down?
Keith and Randy's classic monsters and maniacs hints. Have you tried not falling down? That was Spanish band Melenas. The song 1986. Their new album Ahora just came out, and I'm excited to play that song for you. Before that, you heard Steve Burns, the original Steve from Blue's Clues, with his rendition of They Might Be Giants' brilliant song Dead. And we started the coffee show this week with the Magnetic Fields and their song Crazy for You, but not that crazy.
I mean, let's get real. There's really only one Steve from Blue's Clues.
Yeah, there's only one Darren from Bewitched.
Mm-hmm.
There's only one older daughter from Roseanne, and there's only one program underwriter like Ghost Town Coffee Roasters.
Maybe they'll grow and there'll be more than one.
It would be awesome if there were multiples everywhere taking over the world, like the invasion of the coffee roasters.
I say they put another location exactly on the opposite hemisphere of the Earth from where they are now, and then spread out from both directions until it meets in the middle, like some sort of coffee belt, if you will.
I think that shows a foresight most businesses don't do. They tend to start out nearby so their supply lines can remain consistent and affordable. But I like your idea of...
Right. No, yeah. Totally different location. Might as well be on the moon for all intents and purposes. You know what? That's a viable business strategy at this point. Plan for your next location to be on the moon.
Yeah. Coffee on Mars. Someone's got to be doing it. Can't just be Matt Damon.
He just did potatoes. He would have killed for coffee.
Yeah, coffee's kind of pretty tough to grow.
No, he just did potatoes in recycled water, and that was his beverage that he liked to wake up with in the morning. It's very starch. No caffeine, but lots of starch.
Ah, yes, good old-fashioned Russian coffee.
The longer you leave it, the less you want to drink it.
If you leave it long enough, you can slice it into Pringles.
Ugh. It starts growing more beverage.
Randy, we were remarking earlier before the break about perhaps we should be giving people tips on how to fight different monsters, like giving people some advice in this forthcoming spooky season, how to keep themselves safe. And I think as we move into this autumnal season, watching scary movies, picking out our non-licensed knockoff Halloween costume at Spirit Halloween, like we want to make sure that folks, not just that are safe on the night of All Hallows Eve, but are safe throughout this month. So we're all now prey to any number of monsters, maniacs, ghouls, goblins, and whatnots. So what advice do you think we can best give to keep people safe from supernatural pests?
If it's something like you're being attacked by a living scarecrow or something like that, all you have to do is wait until it's not autumn anymore, and you can automatically rest easy. You see a lot fewer scarecrow attacks in winter months, so that's good.
This wait 'em out schedule is great. I mean, I guess if you have like a panic room or fallout shelter that you can just go into for the month of October, but let's say absent that, like you're trying to live your life, you've got important things to do. You've got maybe cheerleading to do. Maybe you have to bully some nerds at the local high school.
There's a makeout session that needs tending to. Absolutely, Keith. These are all popular activities.
Yeah, maybe you're a country cop that's got to stop smoochers at Makeout Point.
That is a big concern when you're in the country and you don't have municipal things to worry about.
Real busy out there.
Just worried about big city folk coming in and intruding on our country ways. That's mostly what I'm concerned about here.
You should be smooching a goat. What are you doing smooching each other?
I hope nothing bad happens. Our one cell is already full up.
with this guy who says he's a werewolf and they can bust through walls, but I don't believe him.
Look,
He's
I don't believe him, so I left the gate open.
Yeah,
it's fine. He
I
can
just
come and
I
go as he
left the
pleases.
key within easy reach, and I left our deputy, who's my incompetent 15-year-old son.
Do these small town jails, do they have old fashioned like 1600s style locksmiths? Because it's always the keychain with the old style key, the long extension, and then the blocky teeth that come down off of it. I don't know that I've ever in my lifetime used a key of that fashion, but these old jails apparently seems like that's what they're sticking with, is the Pirates of the Caribbean style.
Yes. If you can get the dog to bring you the keys, you can get out of
Right.
the jail here in Cornhop County.
They didn't have the budget for these newfangled locks and keys. I get it. It's tough.
I want to deliver an important piece of information, I think, that gets lost in the disinformation of the scary movie craze. And that is that most movies are written by friendless nerds who weren't invited to, say, parties or exciting makeout sessions. So what they've tried to do is put a monster or a maniac, be it a giant boar or a guy with a hook for an eye, like menacing kids when they're out skinny dipping or, at a trendy bonfire dance. You know what? Those are all fine activities, provided, that you don't break any laws, kids. But otherwise, you're fine. You can go skinny dipping with your friends. In October, not a great idea. Just saying.
Right.
Might be a little chilly and hypothermia sets in. But those movies are mostly written by nerds like me who never got invited to go skinny dipping. And so we're trying to punish you for that.
All of those story beats end up being attacks on cool kid activities that you missed out on.
Yeah, go ahead. Get in a co-ed hot tub. Head up to makeout point with the captain of the football team, of the rugby team, of the high LI team. All three if you want. I'm not here to judge.
I know you and I never got to partake in the telling of the spooky origin stories of local monsters and evildoers. We never got to partake in that as young ones.
Well, see, the nice thing here is you and I now have aged to the point, and we've both got kind of gray grizzled beards. I've taken up staggering out of the woods, wearing overalls, and I sit down by kids who are just trying to have a nice campfire, and I tell them a scary story about a maniac in the woods that was nearby. And I'm like, yeah, you laugh. You think you're gonna live forever, but there's something out there, something evil, something that don't like your Dr. Pepper lip gloss and Minecraft. It's ancient, older than me, older than rotary telephones. You watch, just you wait.
It was a night just like tonight, except for all the light pollution from the recent growth and the Starlink satellites overhead. But other than that, it was a night just like tonight.
There was a killer at the old mill that's now been gentrified and converted into luxury condominiums with retail space on the first floor with a really good coffee shop and a fantastic French bakery. So you're probably fine living here now.
It's not the one by the Steak and Shake. It's the other one down by the new dollar store.
Yeah, you know what? You're probably fine. You're probably fine living wherever you're living here now. It's real good right now. The economy's really bounced.
So many streetlights. It's hard to hide in shadow anymore.
The economy's really bounced back. Let me just say, Michael Myers, he'd come out where the economy's bad.
The only place that still has shadows to hide, and it's because there's just one spotlight, is program underwriter Last Best Comedy, Montana's comedy club.
I like to sit in the audience and laugh in my own way.
There hasn't been a comedian serial killer movie. How'd it go out there? I killed him.
There's a very good reason why there aren't those types of movies, is because anybody who does comedy does it out of pure wanting to spread joy and goodness into the world. The reason you and I make jokes every week, we just want people to be happy. We just want people to laugh. And also we're profoundly insecure and we want people to love us and think highly of us.
Yeah, until the turn comes and I become the knee slapper.
That was the group Illuminati Hotties with their song Joni, LA's #1 health goth. Before that, you heard The Damned with their song Dozen Girls from their album Strawberries, one of my favorite albums of all time now that I have listened to that album a bunch. Prior to that, you heard the Coat Hangers with their song Wipeout. We started that batch of punk rock tunes with the Ramones and their song The KKK Took My Baby Away, because there are real frightening things in the world as we move into October, not just ghosts and gerblins.
Do you have a favorite album that you've only listened to once?
I meant in the context of I recently purchased that album. I'd never listened to it before, and I have been listening to it a lot lately, and it jumped right into my favorite, like top 10 favorite albums of all time.
Yeah.
An album I've only heard once that would be among my favorites?
No, your favorite album.
That I've only ever heard.
You've only
that I've only heard
time.
one time and then put aside?
Yep.
Tub Thumping by Chumbawamba.
You've not heard that whole album?
I have.
Oh, okay.
I have. One time.
You've heard portions of that album many times.
I have heard other songs many times, but
once.
the whole album one time. How about you?
I don't know. That's a good question. I tend to listen to one thing repeatedly rather than a multitude of things.
Yeah, with my OCD, I tend to like listen to an album a lot for like a while till I'm sick of it and then put it aside and start the next record.
Which is why I eat lunches like I listen to albums, which is why I go at least once a week to program underwriter Columbo's Pizza and Pasta.
While you were doing that, Randy, I was looking at my shelves to see if there's an album I've only listened to but one time and then placed it back on my shelf because I liked it enough not to get rid of, or I, for some reason, didn't want to get rid of it. And I can't honestly find one.
It's a tough question.
I think there are some albums I have that I may not listen to all the way through because there's like a song that like makes me sad or affects me. I was thinking the first thing that popped in my head was Randy Newman's Sail Away, an album I love and that I will listen to a lot of the songs off of when I put it on the turntable, but I will always skip a particular song on it because I can't listen to it ever. The first time I listened to it on a tape, it made me cry and I've never listened to it since.
Is it I Love L.A.?
Yeah, it's I Love L.A.
Yeah.
It's not even on that record.
Wow, you really don't love L.A.
With Simon Smith and the Amazing Dancing Bear.
That's kind of sad.
Yeah.
I mean, the bear, he's probably not treated the best.
No, he has to go dance for people
Be a performer.
in the finest places where well-fed faces all stop to stare. And then they're just hoping they get fed. That's not so good. Poor bear.
Yeah.
Simon should really get a better, real job and stop exploiting wildlife.
Wow.
Yeah.
The bear should get a different job, too. He should represent some sort of cereal, maybe, or stop forest fires.
Yeah, toilet paper brand. Yeah.
Yep. There's a lot of job options for bears that didn't exist 100 years ago.
Bears have made a lot of strides in the workforce. I'm happy for them.
Used to just be attacking people in the woods or being a part of the Polish military.
That's right.
Think it was Polish. I could be wrong.
What's interesting is when the stock market goes down, it's called a bear market. Mm-hmm. And when it goes up, it's called a bull market. I've never seen any commercials with bulls. They're not a symbol of things going great.
Not to get too Randy the Fibsmith about it, but bear market being a downturn is because a bear came and ate all of your cabbages, and now you have no cabbages to sell.
A bull could just as easily come in and munch your cabbage. They like those.
No, the people get so excited to talk about the bull, they come into the public square, and while they're there, they buy all of your cabbages.
My cabbages!
Look, I'm sorry. I sold out of cabbages. The bull it was just too much for people. Come back later, and hopefully there's no bear. Can we put up a wall around this marketplace? That'd be great.
Around my garden, at least. Your horoscope for today by our close personal friend Weird Al Yankovic. Before that, you heard the Aquabats with their song Pajamas On, and we started that batch of ska songs with Real Big Fish and their track Life Sucks, Let's Dance.
As far as the horoscope goes, we pre-record these shows by a few days. Are these horoscopes reflective of the day we're recording it for these people or the day that they'll hear it?
Oh, I mean, it's so general it could apply to anyone at any time.
That's true. I see that most of our listeners are going to... Yes, they're going to visit program underwriter Whistlepig Korean.
Randy, I would like to try to stretch out. I've been trying to develop some of my psychic powers here. And I'm going to see if I can cold read our audience. So listeners at home, I'm getting an R name. An R name? Yes, maybe you know somebody whose name begins with an R, and he's going to be back next week with more stuff on the coffee show, but it's the end of the coffee show right now. I don't know who that could be. Randy, do you know anyone like that?
Doesn't make any sense. Keith doesn't start with an R. Take out your earpiece, Keith. Whoever's feeding you information is giving you bad clues.
Well, you lied on the entrance exam. That's the problem. My cohort that I sent to pump you for information, you just told them a bunch of things that are clearly lies. It's like Randy's favorite food is not salad.
No, that's true. My favorite food is not salad. Is that was that in question?
Well, you lied. You just gave a bunch of phony answers to try to throw off the lie detector test of my fake.
Well, does it help you to know that my favorite food is a pile of caramels?
Sticky.
It's great. It's so multi-purpose. You can eat it just as caramel squares.
Sure.
You can melt it onto an apple. You can, just those two uses, but that's okay.
You could
do that.
stick down loose tiling in your bathroom.
You sure could. Got a loose filling? You could pull it right out.
Pull it right out. You could make a fine little birthday party for some ants that you know are having a birthday out in your yard.
Hey, the odds are pretty good that at least one of the ants inside that anthill, it's their birthday.
Yeah.
And if you're going to bring enough caramel for one ant, you better make sure that you have enough caramel to go around to all the ants.
Or at least enough for the queen, which is what I tell my fictional children when I go through their Halloween candy, is that I have to take a certain amount for the queen.
I'll usually use those caramels to stick together like a balsa wood bridge or something. Oh, because otherwise, Why would they call them craft caramels?
Oh, well, they don't always. I enjoy Pick-a-Mix.
Oh, Pick-a-Mix is craft also, though, right?
Oh, drat, is it?
I think so.
Oh,
I think they are somehow tied together. They don't have Pick-a-Mix anymore. You can't get that.
Oh, man, I'm so old.
It's gone the way of the dodo.
It's gone the way of the landline phone and new metal.
You can put a $10 bill in there now and you get 2 caramels.
You know, old man, what I miss is I miss going to the grocery store and seeing a fleet of machines I could put a quarter in and receive a disappointing plastic prize.
You can still do that, for example, at program underwriter Columbo's Pizza and Pasta. They still have some machines you can do that.
They're not disappointing prizes, though.
No, that's true. They have good prizes.
I learned like a valuable lesson at Gibson's discount store in Bozeman as a child. When the front card has amazing things in it, wacky wall walker, gold-toned digital watch, all these kinds of things. And then you put your quarter in, you're like, this is going to be amazing. And then you just get some horrifying like troll pencil topper.
Oh, that would have been a good prize compared to a lot of them.
Oh, yeah.
What is this, half of a plastic spider ring? That won't even stay on my finger. I can't do that.
Yeah.
The chicken inside the machine has laid an egg with a horrible prize once again. Curse you, chicken!
This is just a human molar. Is it a warning?
Yeah, that's the Gibson's toy machine for you. What are you going to do? Sometimes you get somebody's old tooth. Sometimes you get a pull top from a beer can. You never know what you're going to get. Tetanus, usually.
Is the chicken threatening me? What does this mean?
Yeah, it's the equivalent of like doing a read of the chicken egg. You throw the chicken egg down and there's like a streak of blood in it. You got that toy. Sorry, Keith.
Oh, yes.
It's a bad omen. Now, Keith, go on outside and play with your bad omen. It's time for the end of the coffee show.
I will. It's for you, Randy. It's all for you. And we'll be back next week with more music and fun as we, I'm sure, speed further into the spooky month of October when I say that he's Randy.
And he's Keith.
Snappy catchphrase. Thank you so much for listening to this week's episode of The Coffee Show World of Content. We want to say a very quick thanks to our good friend Jake Monin for our theme song, and let you know that all the incidental music in between is from our friends in the band The Ornery Jacks. Thank you so much to them for writing such great music. You can find all of their tunes and more on the internet. You know how to do that, but we've provided some links in the text description as well for you.
Yes, and I like subscribe notification.
I rang bell and left review and comment.
You sound like the Hunchback.
Well, this is my sanctuary, and also I have a constant ringing in my ears, so fair enough.